Hey everybody, this is John Petrucci. I'm sitting here at DTHQ. Welcome to the Young Guitar video. Alright, let's talk about some of the gear I use on a view from the top of the world. I'm going to start with this guy. So this is my Ernie Ball Music Man Majesty guitar. This particular finish is called Purple Nebula, one of my favorites. And this was the 6-string that I used on 4 out of the 7 songs on the record. That would be The Alien, that would be Sleeping Giant, Transcending Time, and Invisible Monster. And of course it has my signature DiMarzio pickups. That's a Dreamcatcher and a Rainmaker. And these guitars are neck through. They're absolutely beautiful. Best guitars on the planet, if I do say so myself. Obviously you see the Majesty logo there. And what else can I say about this guitar? It does have a piezo system in it as well. However, on the record I used an actual acoustic, but that's something I take advantage of live for sure to get that acoustic sound. There is a up to 20 dB boost on the volume control. It's a push-push pot, and there's a coil tap on the tone control, and that's the piezo volume. You also have control over the piezo EQ and volume back there, and that is the Majesty 6. So, a Dream Theater album would not be complete without a 7-string guitar on it. I played 7-string on Answering the Call and the title track, A View from the Top of the World. Now, little disclaimer, I didn't actually use this 7-string. The 7-string that I use is on the road with the gear, and for those of you coming to see Dream Theater at Download, you'll see me playing that guitar on stage. But I wanted to bring this one because I thought it was appropriate. I just celebrated 20 years with Ernie Ball Music Man. We did a couple of really special anniversary editions of the guitars. This is a 7-string version of the very first model we did with the arm scoop, bolt-on neck, nice gold tribute there to the 20th anniversary, and it's just a beautiful guitar. 20th anniversary JP6 7-string. One of the big deals on the new album is that for the first time I wrote and recorded on an 8-string guitar. So it's the very first 8-string guitar for me and the very first 8-string guitar for Ernie Ball Music Man. It's the first one they ever made. So we actually wrote all of the songs, 6 of them at least, in the fall of 2020. And then we took a break for the holidays. When we came back, I actually had this prototype ready to write one more song, which ended up being Awaken the Master. So I wanted to show you guys this. This is a really special guitar here because this is a prototype of the very first Majesty 8-string. They did something really creative and unique that only Ernie Ball Music Man does when trying to sort of make slight adjustments that you don't really notice but you feel to the guitar so that I can have all the access I possibly can have, even though the neck is a lot wider than a 6-string. So they made an interchangeable 3D printed bottom horn here, and we tried some different angles, and that's what you're seeing there on the bottom. Just kind of screws on. But I did use this exact prototype to write and record Awaken the Master. And then fast forward a few months, and they turned that into the production model here. So this is the official Majesty 8-string guitar. Absolutely beautiful. We did it in Mystic Dream, which is the color change paint that the original JP6 debuted in. So we thought that would be a really cool touch. And now, the cool thing is that we're starting to offer the 8-string in a lot of different finishes. So, but the original one, if any of you got your hands on it, was limited. It was only in this color change, Mystic Dream. There's the 8 from Proto. to production. Really cool. All right, let's talk acoustics. So I use this guitar on the record. This is a Taylor 614 CE Builder's Edition. It's a beautiful sounding guitar, beautiful looking, and very comfortable to play because of this nice forearm contour there. You'll hear acoustic on the record as a layered guitar. It's something I like to do. If there's a clean guitar part, I'll usually back it up with acoustic. A good example of that would be like on Invisible Monster. At the beginning of that, you'll hear the acoustic layered with the electric. It's a really cool sound. Also, you might not hear it, but you might feel it on certain songs. I'll kind of strum behind choruses to kind of give them a little bit of a lift. It almost acts as more of a percussion instrument. And then sometimes there's extended acoustic clean sections, like for example on A View from the Top of the World in the middle section. But this is a beautiful guitar, Taylor Builder's Edition. All right, let's talk pedals. So my recording setup is purposely really simple. I like to keep the guitar tone as pure as I can. So generally I plug into the amp goes into a cabinet, and Jimmy T mics that. That's my guitar sound. It's really simple. However, every once in a while I will use a pedal in the front end. So these are some of the pedals I used on the record. Of course, this is my TC Electronic signature Dreamscape pedal. I'll use this for modulation effects. On the record, I used it mostly for chorus. Over here is a Dark Glass Electronics Hyper Luminal. This is a compressor pedal, and I use this on clean sounds. I don't use compressors on any distorted sounds at all. The amp has enough gain and compression. I don't need to do that. But on a clean sound, I really like the way it kind of just makes everything sound nice and even. And then it would not be complete without the appearance of wah on the record. This is my Dunlop JP95 signature wah. This thing is a monster. It's not an invisible monster. You can actually, sorry, that was a bad joke. Anyway, this is an awesome pedal. Use it on the record. One of my favorite wah moments on the record is actually in Awaken the Master. I used the wah on an 8-string, and I've never heard a sound like that before. It literally sounds like somebody is awakening the Monster Master. Wow, my jokes are getting horrible. Anyway, check out that moment on the record. JP95 wah. Honorable mention, there are 3 pedals here that I don't have with me. They're close by. Anyway, there were the Boss Waza pedals. 2 of them were Waza pedals, Waza Craft. So one was a CE2, which is a chorus pedal, use that for chorusing, and the other is a Dimension C Waza Craft, which is also a modulation pedal. So it depends on the part of the song. Sometimes I'll use it on a single note line. Sometimes I'll use it on big chords. And the 3rd pedal is not a Waza Craft, although I will appeal to Boss right now to make a Waza phaser pedal, because that would be really badass. Anyway, it was the Phaser P, I don't know, P something, PH2? 3? PH3? Okay. Cool effect with the phaser is on Invisible Monster. We layered the guitars, and sometimes we used the phaser in its sort of normal state, but other times we used it in its step state. So you can hear as the guitar sustains that it kind of steps right at the end of it. And that was a really cool production technique that we did. It took a while. We broke up what was a very simple guitar line into like 6 different parts and did all these cool phasery tricks. Anyway, those are the pedals on the record. Okay, so let's get to the workhorse of the album. This is the single amp, the only amp that I used on the record. This is my signature Mesa Boogie JP2C, and it's a 3-channel amp, so all the guitar sounds you hear on the record were from this amplifier. Clean, heavy rhythms, leads. It's an amplifier with not only 3 channels, but 2 graphic EQs. It is a monster of an amp. We plugged this into a Boogie 4x12 and mic'd that, and that was the sound on the record. And if you guys want to check out the settings for yourselves, give them a try. If you own one of these amps, you will not be disappointed. And I love it. Again, my guitars sound really simple as far as our setup. I leave all the hard stuff up to Jimmy T. He's the one who has to mic it up and all that, but I just literally plug in, goes into a cabinet, and that's the pure sound. That's how you get the best guitar sound. And then right over here sitting next to it, I don't want to forget this guy. So this is a Dunlop Trinity pick, we call this. So I have a series of Dunlop signature picks. This one's made of Ultex. It's a very hard material, and it has a beveled edge that's three-sided. So no matter how you hold the pick, you can't go wrong. You're on the right side. And one of the things I love about this too is that it's slightly larger than a traditional Jazz 3, and it has a round bevel, so you can actually use this for strumming if you kind of just choke back on the pick, or for really fast playing if you choke up on the pick. So it's a very versatile pick. Anyway, that's the Dunlop Trinity.